Hi there, folks. Well, I'm doing this pretty little hydrangea and flowers painting with watercolor, and it's a little different technique I've been using lately with both watercolor and with acrylics. And when I posted a painting the other day, I had someone ask me some questions about this. So basically, this is not wet on wet. I don't want my paper sopping wet with water. I don't even really want it fairly wet at all. So the only wet I'm using is this little container, which I put a couple of drops, just a very small couple drops of dish soap and water. I need to add some more, but this is what I'm using. And it works both with this watercolor and with acrylic. And it works like a flow medium. So as you can see, I've been working on this. These are the paints I've been using for right now, anyway, watercolor paints. So I thought, for the sake of the woman that asked me if I did any teaching, that I would do a little teaching here while I'm doing this one. I wish I'd have thought of it when I was a little, when I was into the other parts of it. We'll kind of start with something right now. So I'm going to use this to spray my paints, which wets them and gives them that little bit of slipperiness. And basically, whoop, I lost my, well, I did have it. Anyway, we'll just use this one. I have been actually using a filberts brush through this whole thing. So what I'll do is, I don't know if you can see this area. I think you can see it right here. So I did all of this with this filberts brush, the little bottle of water and soap, and my paints. So let's come down here. I'm going to wet my brush a little bit. I'm going to get a little bit of red, and I'm going to add a little white to it. Now I'm using, I happen to use acrylic white most of the time, but I certainly have used other whites as well. And you see, for these parts of the flowers here, I actually sprayed like sections. Like I sprayed this section, and this flower here. The rest of it was just the spray on my paints and the water on my brush. So as you can see, so this, it doesn't like dilute the paint a lot, and it makes the paint so incredibly easy and smooth. It gives it, I don't know, it gives it a type of a little different look, of which I really like. And it also just really does make it be very smooth. Now, there's different ways, of course, that we can do that. We can buy mediums, and I use them. I still do sometimes. But this whole thing, when I read this, I was like, I'm going to try that. I mean, how inexpensive is a little container like that with, now you can see all I'm doing is using my brush. Now I'm going to dilute that a little bit so I can have my darks and my lights. Take a little paint out, put a little paint in, and all that sort of thing. But the question actually asked of me at the time was, did I wet my entire paper? For this type of way that I'm painting, no. As I described a few minutes ago, I'm really just, it's the water on my brush, which is a minimum. It's not a lot. It's not dripping or anything like that. But I can still do the same. Funny thing is right now that's making me laugh is I don't usually do all this with a filberts brush. But I was doing something else earlier, and I didn't end up changing my brush. And I'm kind of just as happy because I'm really liking the way everything's coming out with the brush. So for now, for this painting, I guess we're going to continue on with the filbert brush. So what I'm doing is I'm dabbing my brush, and I'm coming in with a less water, dryish kind of brush, and I'm you know, pulling out some paint for highlights. And then what I'm going to do is get some darker red here, which is what this was supposed to be. I almost wanted like a cranberry red is what I was, but I actually go in here and put this in as well to this one. But it's a darker center. And then I'm just using the very chisel of this, well, it's a little purple, but you know what? I don't mind. We'll make it more purple. There we go. And so I'm going to dab it again, get a lot of that water off. I don't want a lot of water right now doing this. These little fine areas. So that's going to dry a little. Let's go in and add a little more to that one. But this is how I basically have been doing it all. Now, I want this next one here to be a lot lighter. So I am going to take most of that paint off my brush. And I'm just going to color these in, basically with a light, you know, pink first. Just for a base layer. So I guess officially I'm doing a little teaching. Okay. You can, you know, slow down your, zoom in and slow down your, the speed button to slow it down. This filbert brush is a little bit ragged, but I had been using it, and it's worked really well. So we're just gonna kind of do this type of thing. And I want to leave, I'm wiping a little bit off and coming in here and wiping some more off. I want these down here to be lighter, a lighter color. That one was a little more darker. That's all right. I'm going to come in here. We're going to do the same thing again. Just kind of dab out some of that. And then we're going to go back into that nice dark. I've been painting all day practically. I mean, I should say afternoon, not all day. I usually get everything done in the morning, all my errands and whatever it is that I'm got to do. Today was laundry. And then in the afternoon, I paint. So as you can see, this soapy water just really works nicely. I don't have to keep wetting it as much to get also for getting this effect. I don't have to, I don't want this to be wet on wet. And what I want to do here, what I wanted to do here was I wanted to come back into this one. In a few areas, I wanted to pick out a few pinks and dark blues to just, you know, let a few little spots stand out. Same as over here. I didn't have quite enough of that going on. And then of course you want some light ones, of which I'm including some pinks. This, and I actually want to lighten a lot of this up. It you know, it dulls back after a while. So I'm just sort of, you know, flip-flopping around here to get some of that lighter into there, and some pinks, of course, like I was doing. I had some purples there, and I like to add, you know, a few of these colors in with the blues and so forth. Sometimes I'll add yellow. So I wiped off my brush again. I need another towel, but I don't want to get up right now and get it because I don't want to leave this video. So we're going to come back in here. Now all I did was I have sprayed my paints, and I have a little bit of, you know, my brush is damp. It's not wet. It's just damp. So that's all I'm doing, folks, is that's what I'm using. And this white, I like to, you know, dab more here and there for the highlights. in these different areas. And I even take the white that, like I said, I normally just use acrylic. And wherever I want to add some extra light petals after, if I didn't leave it, which I didn't, I just come in. Oops, that has some blue on it, which would be fine, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. My palette's getting pretty. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of painting. But I wanted to I told that lady, I can't remember her name right now, but I'm going to put it into the thread that I had going on, and hopefully she will see it. I told her that, I was thinking about doing a little bit of teaching of it. So I decided today, where I had the time and everything, that I would actually do it and then put it in my thread. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, folks. And literally, I'm just using my, I gotta rinse that. This is getting way too wet. But all I'm doing is I'm using a filbert brush for this one. And I'll just have these things over here left over, but that's how I did everything. And again, it's with this soapy water thing for flow. This is regular watercolor paper, 300 GSM. Yesterday I think it was, I made a really pretty one with hot press paper. And as I said as well, this also works wonderful with acrylic. So I did a bunch with acrylic as well. So I kind of like using this soapy water business here. And I'm probably just going to keep doing it till I'm satisfied with the painting, which I'm not at that point yet. But for her and for whoever else actually was interested in some sort of lessons on it, this is it. This is what I do. So in this particular style, that is. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and happy painting. Bye for now.